You haven't exactly been discreet.
Oh, like that getup is. Well, I gotta admit, for a disguise, it's pretty good. Hardly recognized you.
What is... I'm off duty.
That's how you dress when you're not Catwomaning around. I may have to rethink this whole relationship.
Who is that hood rat Brock's talking to? He can get any shorty he wants.
The Family That Slays Together Stays Together Part 2 is the 13th and final episode of Season 3. It first aired on August 24th, 2008, and was written by Jackson Public and Doc Hammer. After the Venture family escapes from police custody, they return to the compound where Brock has a plan to deal with both the OSI and the Monarch at once. One of the cops interrogating Dr. Venture and Brock makes a reference to Garanimals when describing the crime scene. Garanimals is a brand of kids' clothing that are sold in sets of matching tops and bottoms. The cleaner is a very obvious reference to Mr. Clean, the spokes character for Mr. Clean cleaning products. The underwear that the clone slugs wear is modeled after the underwear codpiece thing that Sting wears in the 1984 version of Dune. This is the first appearance of General Traster. He was first name-dropped way back in Season 1's Midlife Chrysalis.
My father is General Traster. You saved his life. The man spoke of you as a god. And you did not disappoint.
When Hank excitedly declares that he and Dean are going to finally meet their long-lost sister Dawn, it's a reference back to his confusion in Season 2's Love Bites.
You and your guests are cordially invited to attend the unholy union of His Malevolence Baron Werner Underbite IV and your daughter, Dawn. Execution to follow.
I have a sister? Named Dawn? How long have you been keeping this from me?
And when Hank refers to using the clone slugs as an army as opening his Christmas presents early, it's a reference back to Season 2's Viva Los Muertos.
Boys, get up.
Yes, sir.
I hope you're proud of yourselves. You've ruined the surprise.
The what?
This was going to be your Christmas present.
Huh?
A whole big army of yous ready to think you're the coolest and do your chores. Maybe eliminate targets in high-risk combat zones.
I was in high school when Kill Bill came out, and I was totally obsessed with it. Volume 1 was so action-packed and cool, I couldn't wait to see how Volume 2 would top it. Then Volume 2 came out, and it was a whole lot more talking than wild and crazy action. I appreciate both movies in hindsight, but at the time I was so disappointed, which is a perfect analogy for how I feel about The Family That Slays Together Stays Together Parts 1 and 2. Looking back, this is a great episode. The 3 different interrogation scenes, that bit where Hank calls Molotov cocktease a hood rat, and a good old-fashioned battle on the compound. But what's bigger than all of that is that this episode is the last episode of classic Venture Brothers. From here on out, the boys age, they mature, their safety net is gone. Brock quits. One of the 4 main characters isn't even on the show for the majority of the first half of Season 4 and won't return as the Venture family bodyguard for 28 episodes, or 7.5 years if you watched the show back when it first aired. And perhaps the craziest swing I've ever seen a TV show take, they killed off one half of a comedy duo. I remember watching this series for the first time with my wife and pointing at 21 back in Season 1 and saying, "Would you believe me if I told you that guy goes through the most character growth of any other character on this show?" But I have to talk a bit about Season 3 as a whole real quick. Season 3 is my favorite season of the Venture Brothers. Season 1 is the general idea of what the Venture Brothers would be, and Season 2 is a better version of that. But Season 3 is where this silly little show really starts to feel like a whole real world of its own, and because of that, Season 3 is where I went from being a casual fan to an obsessed maniac. I love seeing how the past informs the present, and so I'm a sucker for any and all flashbacky kind of stuff, which about half of the episodes this season featured. I recall reading or hearing in some interview that Doc and Jackson weren't trying to make that kind of show. But I don't care. I loved it. Give me all the flashbacks. I love Season 3 of The Venture Brothers, and I love The Venture Brothers. As always, thank you for watching, and go Team Venture. Tune in next week for something different. If you dug this video, share it with a friend, and if there was some huge glaring thing that I missed in this video, Follow me on Instagram at Ventureverse Guide to see these videos a week early and offer your input before I upload the final product.